So part 7 is interrogative sentences, right? How we change interrogative sentences from given in a direct speech into indirect speech, right? Yes. Wait, what has happened? Okay. So there are two types of interrogative sentences. As just a few minutes before I mentioned, W type of questions that require a detailed answers. Now, what are these W type of questions? Who, where, when, why? How is also the part of W type of question. Which, what, etc. W type of questions, questions that ask for something, right? So these are interrogative sentences. What is for lunch? Where are you going? What is your name? These are interrogative sentences. And when I say, what is for lunch? This is the direct speech. But how to change it? When I change it into indirect speech, you know what it would be? You would say that the teacher said, what for lunch was. So you will find it quite awkward, but yes, as per the grammar rules, this is how we have to change a question in while transforming it into indirect speech, right? Now there is another second type of questions. The second type of questions are those questions which are beginning with auxiliary verbs or, in simpler words, helping verbs that can be answered in yes or no. For example, I say, did you go to school yesterday? Have you completed your project? Are you going to see the function? Right? Now, these questions can be answered in yes or no. For example, when I say, did you go to school yesterday? No, I didn't. Are you going to see the event? Yes, I am. But in W type of questions, you have to give an explanation. You cannot answer in yes or no. What is your name? You cannot answer in yes or no. My name is so and so. Is that clear? The two types of questions?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. Now, yes. Now let's change W type interrogators into indirect speech. Here are a few examples. The receptionist said to Mr. Sen, this is the conversation between the receptionist and Mr. Sen. The receptionist said to Mr. Sen, who do you want to meet? Now see here carefully, the receptionist inquired. Said to, the reporting verb is completely changed in interrogative sentences. Here it has been used inquired. When you don't know, when you are unable to understand which reporting verb is to be used, simply use the word asked. The receptionist asked Mr. Sen. The receptionist questioned Mr. Sen. Or the receptionist inquired Mr. Sen. Inquired is very appropriate, but asked and questioned, they are not incorrect, they are also correct. Is that clear, Anmol?
Yes, ma'am.
Now, this is interrogative sentence. Who do you want to meet? Now, please observe carefully how it has been changed into indirect speech. Who, it is beginning with who he wanted to meet. Now, you must be thinking how it is. Let me tell you, who is the question word. Now, if you say, do you want, what is it? Simple present. This simple present would be changed into simple past. So in simple past, want will be changed into wanted. But then you cannot say who he did wanted know. Who he wanted to meet. This is one thing, clear?
Yes, ma'am.
Another important thing is, please observe carefully, soon after this question word, right? Soon after the question word, we use the subject here, that is he. And then there comes the verb wanted. In the question, it is who do. Soon after who is used the helping verb do. But that helping verb, anyway, here it is do. But if it was another helping verb, this would have come after he or after you. You is changed into he, right? Because he refers to Mr. Same. Is that clear?
Yes,
Suppose
ma'am.
it was who has he wanted. Suppose it was somebody else, right? And if it was has wanted, then it would have been changed into had wanted. Is that clear?
Yes, ma'am.
Any doubt about it?
No, ma'am.
Because usually the children have problem in interrogatives. So wherever there is little doubt, please do tell me, okay?
Okay.
Yes. Now see the next one. Yes. Here is the builder. The builder says, the builder is asking his client. The builder said, what changes do you want in the design of your house? What changes do you want in the design of your house? So the builder inquired, or instead of inquired, what else can we use?
Asked.
The builder asked, what changes? Now, do is with want. So what changes? He. You is changed into he, right? And do want is changed into wanted. What changes he wanted in the design of his house? With slight changes in the pronounced rest of the sentence is the same. Clear?
Ma'am, I have a question.
Yes.
Ma'am, when we convert a simple sentence, direct sentence into indirect sentence,
Right.
so we use a helping verb after the subject in question.
Yes, not in the statements, child. That is in the interrogative sentences.
Okay.
These are interrogative sentences. These are questions. Okay. Now look here, what it is. What do you want? You is the subject, right? You is not the subject, but you become subject later, right? So soon after what, the helping verb has been used. But when we change it into indirect speech, soon after what, we use subject and then the verb. Is that clear? Whether it is the main verb or it is the helping verb.
Okay.
Clear?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, shall we go to the next?
Yes, ma'am.
All right. Yes. Now these are young children, right? Let us see what conversation they had with their teacher. The students said to the teacher, when will the board exams start? Now look at this sentence here. Look at this interrogative here. When will, soon after when is the helping verb, right? But when we change it into indirect speech, it is the students ask the teacher when the board exams. Now the place of will is changed. It's not only that will is changed into would, but its place, its position is also changed. Here comes first the subject and then the helping verb and the main verb. When the board exams would start. You know that what there is a tip which I often give to my students, right? I tell the children, in maths, you do mental maths,
Yes, ma'am.
right? Similarly, I tell my children to do a little mental grammar. And if not mental grammar, there in the rough space also, they can do by writing. Okay, the question is, when will the board exam start? Now you change this question into a simple statement first. How you will change it into simple statements? When the board exams will start. Is that clear?
Yes, ma'am.
Right? Later on, according to the reporting verb, you will change it into the past tense. The students ask the teacher when the board exam will start, when the board exams would start. It's very simple.
Yes, ma'am.
Right? So if you have this confusion that you have to change it into simple sentence and then changing the tense also, so better it is that first you do a little mental grammar, that you are changing it into simple sentence, and then you are making it a simple statement, right? And then changing the tense form as well. I hope it is clear.
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, let's go to the next. Yes. Now here you see the two friends, they had a conversation. My friend asked me, which book have you read recently? Have you? Which book have you? Right? Now, can you just change it into a simple statement? Don't see this answer. Okay. Just change it in the simple statement without changing the tense. Which book have you read recently? Yes, that all changes.
Okay. Which book I have read recently?
Okay, fine. That's correct. That's correct. Okay. Now, what else you have to do? When you transform it into indirect speech, these are the changes you will make. My friend asked me which book I had read recently. Have will be changed into had. Did it take any time?
No, ma'am.
No, not at all. It's only a matter of practice. Once you start doing, you will never have any problem in this. Is that clear?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. Another example. Yes. Yes, this is the guard. A communication with the visitor. The guard said to the visitor, where do you want to go? Just change where do you want to go into the simple statement.
Where you want to go?
Right, correct. And now you will change. The guard asked the visitor where he wanted to go. Right? You have to think of the devices. You have to think of the ways yourself, how to do it. Okay, so this is what I generally teach my children. If you find difficulty, this is how you do. And usually they have problem in interrogators. They get confused. Yes, the mother and the child. Mother said to her daughter, why didn't you eat your lunch? Why didn't you eat your lunch? Change this.
Why you didn't eat your lunch?
Very good, very good. Good going. Mother asked her daughter why she hadn't eaten her lunch. You said why you didn't. So you is changed into he and didn't into hadn't. And the rest of the sentence is the same. Right?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. Yes, one more example. Yes, the parents and the principal, the meeting with the principal. The parents said to the principal, how will you conduct classes? How will you conduct classes?
How will you conduct classes?
How will you conduct classes? It's the same, Anmol. Yes.
How would you?
How you will conduct classes.
How? Okay.
Right? How you will conduct classes. The parents inquired the principal how she would conduct classes. I hope you have understood this.
Yes, ma'am.
Right? Now, these are the sentences that for practice. Betty said, when did you come? Now you change this into reported speech, Anmol.
Betty asked that when you
do remember it is interrogative sentence.
When you have been.
Okay, let me remind you. Okay, let me remind you. In interrogative sentences, we don't use that. Okay. First of all, the question you read the question sentence. It is when did you come? Now you change this when did you come into a simple sentence.
When did you come in simple sentence?
No, when did you come is again a question because it is when did. So when did meaning a question. In a question, helping verb is soon after the question word. And when you change it into a simple sentence, then what it becomes? When you did come. You remember? This is what I told you.
Yes, ma'am.
This is a trick. Okay, we have to understand. When you did come, soon after the question word is the subject and then the helping verb. Why I told you this, it would be easy for you to change it to change its tense. Right. Now you see what you have to change. You have done mentally that the sentences when you did come. Okay, so you have to change this into the indirect form. So what you would say, Betty asked when, yes, help me Anmol. You is?
When I.
Right, when
I have.
Right, when I had come. Right? Because did come is the simple past and you have changed it into past perfect. Is that clear? Now you notice please, when you say Betty said, when I had come, you did not use that. You did remove the comma, inverted commas. So this is what you have to remember, child, that in interrogative sentences, you will not use that. Is that clear?
Yes, ma'am.
In declarative sentences, you use. For example, I said I would visit you the next day. I said that I would visit you the next day. Right? Or even without that also I can write. But in interrogative, not at all. That no way. So you would say Betty asked when I had come. Betty inquired when I had come. I hope it is clear.
Yes, ma'am.
Yes, now see the next one. Meena said to her son, where have you parked your car? Do a little bit mental practice. Yes.
Meena told.
No. In interrogative sentences, we do not tell. Don't you see the question mark everywhere?
Meena asked.
Right.
To her son.
Not to.
Okay.
Said to is changed into asked. Okay. Yes.
Meena asked her son where where he
Good, very good.
had parked his car.
Right. Very good. Very good attempt. Now you see that how conveniently you did this. Just a few things if you remember how very well meticulously you had used he before have or soon after the question word where, and how smartly you had changed you into he. This is how it has to be done. Okay. Meena asked her son, but do remember in interrogative questions, you will always use the reporting verb as asked, questioned, or inquired. Any of these. Suppose you don't understand whether to write inquired or questioned, then asked. Asked is always correct. Is that clear? Whenever there is a question mark. Fine. And when it is said to is changed into asked. We don't say asked to or questioned to or inquired to. No. Clear?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. So Meena asked her son where he had parked his car. Okay. The students said to the teacher, who will be the chief guest at the annual function of the school?
The students asked the teacher,
Right.
who would be the chief guest at the annual function of the school.
Now correct it again. You have changed a question into indirect speech. You have changed the tense of the question, but you haven't changed it into indirect speech.
Who the chief guest
Right.
at the annual function of the school.
Who the chief guest would be.
No.
Right. Got it?
Yes, ma'am.
Who the chief guest? The chief guest is the subject now. Okay. So who the chief guest would be at the annual function of the school. Or it could be who the chief guest at the annual function of the school would be. This is also correct. But more appropriate is who the chief guest would be at the annual function of the school. Clear? Okay. My father said, what have you planned to do after exams?
My father asked
Yes.
what I had planned to do after exams.
Very good. Very well attempted. Yes, Nina said to Reena, how much pocket money do you get?
Nina asked Reena how
Don't worry, carry on. Where is the subject?
You.
Right. So, but here the sentence is different. In the previous sentence, it was, what have you? Here it is, how much pocket money do you? So in that case, what will you do?
How much pocket money?
Good, very good.
You did get.
You is changed into?
She.
Right, she
got.
She got. Correct, very good. I was going to correct this. You well identified. Okay. So it's all the matter of practice, child. Once you do practice, you will be able to do it very quickly. Okay. So now you repeat the sentence that you have changed.
Nina asked Reena how much pocket money she did get. She did got.
He got. Okay. do get is changed into got. Okay, how much pocket money she got? Okay, good attempt. Mr. Roy said to the doctor, which medicines should I take if I am caught with corona?
Mr. Roy asked the doctor,
Mhm.
which medicine should
Good.
he take?
No.
No.
Which medicines?
He should.
Right. He should take.
He should taken. If
No, he should take.
he should take. Okay. He should take if he was caught with corona.
Very good. Got it? You see that if it was should be, then it could be the third form of taken. But it is should. So it would be the first form of verb, that is take. Okay, just repeat your sentence.
Mr. Roy asked the doctor which medicine he should take if he was caught with corona.
Correct. Right? Okay. Teacher said to the students, why don't you mute your microphone?
Teacher asked the students why they didn't mute their microphone.
Very good. Very correct. Good going. Rohit said to the receptionist, whom can I contact for admission?
Rohit asked the receptionist whom he could contact for admission.
Yes, correct. Got it? Right?
Yes.
Here is the link. I'll just show you, but I would really appreciate if you do the practice yourself. Okay? Yes. Better it is that you do the practice yourself. Then I'll proceed to the next. This is again British Council. I think there are two grammar tests here. Grammar test 1 and grammar test 2. Yes, this is grammar test 1. Will you do on your own?
Yes, ma'am.
Right? And grammar test 2. So 2 tests are there. Fine? Yes. Okay. Any other problem? I hope everything is clear now.
Yes, ma'am.
Right? So thank you for this.